For 15 years, I thought my marriage was perfect. We had the kind of love people write books about. But one day, everything changed. My husband left me for someone half his age, and what I discovered next shattered everything I believed. So let me take you back to the beginning, to the day I thought my life was perfect. We met in college. He was charming, ambitious, and everything I ever wanted. I still remember our first date. He took me to a little cafe by the river. We talked for hours, and by the end of the night, I just knew he was the one. Fast forward a few years and we were married. We bought a house. We built a life together, and for years, I thought we were unshakable. We had our routines: Sunday morning breakfast, movie night, long walks in the park. It was simple, but it was ours. But then, things started to change. He began working late, coming home tired and distant. At first, I told myself it was just stress. Every marriage has its ups and downs, right? But deep down, I knew something was wrong. And then, one day, he dropped the bomb. It was a Tuesday evening. I remember because I had made his favorite dinner, rice and porridge. He walked in, sat down, and without even looking at me, he said, "I'm leaving." Just like that, no warning, no discussion. He told me he had fallen in love with someone else, someone younger, more exciting. I was devastated. How could he throw away 15 years for someone half his age? I begged him to stay, to work things out, but he just shook off his head, packed his bags, and walked out of the door. For days I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I kept replaying everything in my mind, trying to figure out where I went wrong. And then I did something I'm not proud of. I looked her up online. She was beautiful, successful, and yes, half his age. Every photo of them together felt like a knife to my heart, but something about her felt familiar. I couldn't put my finger on it. One night, I couldn't sleep. I started going through old photo albums, trying to remember the good times. And that's when I found it. It was a picture of my husband with a younger woman. She looked just like the woman he left me for. My hands were shaking as I held the photo. I didn't want to believe it, but I had to know the truth. So I confronted him. At first, he denied it, but when I showed him the photo, he broke down. He told me the truth. The woman he left me for was his daughter, a daughter he had had with another woman before we met, a daughter he kept secret for over 20 years. I couldn't believe it. All these years, he had been lying to me. He had been raising her in secret, visiting her behind my back, and now he left me for her. I felt betrayed, humiliated, and heartbroken. How could he do this to us? I mean, how could he do this to us? I packed my bags and left. I couldn't stay in that house, in that life, knowing it was all built on lies. But the hardest part wasn't leaving him. It was realizing that the man I loved, the man I thought I knew, never really existed. It's been a year since I left. I've started to rebuild my life, but the scars remain. Sometimes I wonder if I made the right choice, but one thing is for sure, I'll never forget the day I found out the truth, and I will never stop asking myself, what would you have done? If you've ever faced betrayal or heartbreak, know that you are not alone. And if you're going through something similar, remember, it's never too late to start over. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. If you were in my shoes, what would you have done? Until I come your way again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel.